Boy, g'day guys, it's Sam here from Built Not Bought, and today we're shooting a Ford Ranger. But this ain't any Ford Ranger, this is my brother's Ford Ranger. So let me show you how shit it is. Yes, that is right. This is my brother's Ranger, but I do think it's worthy for this rig rundown. So I'm going to take you through it. But before I do, there's one thing that needs to be said. This thing has been to pretty much every shop in Perth that had its stuff put on it. So I've got to do something to it first. Come here, come here. He didn't want to put one of these stickers on, but today is an exception, except I'm going to make a couple of modifications. All right, there we go. That should do it. Now we can get into it. Starting from the front, we have the ARB Summit bull bar, so that is straight off the shelf, as well as these HID spotlights on there. He's gone and done a custom grill. I think that was off the net, off eBay or something. I saw him chucking it on a few weeks ago. GME antenna, just a 6 dB. It's got a pretty darty drop slide thing on there, so you can get in the carport at home. The winch is a Ridge Rider 12,000 pound with the Dyneema rope. There's a video coming out, or may already be released, of installing that, so I'll drop a link in below for that. Just some daytime driving lights. They look pretty sweet. They come on with the parking lights there, and just a deflector on the bonnet which stops the bugs and all that coming up there. Of course, we've got the scrub bars and sliders, which are also from ARB to match the bull bar, color coded as well. This snorkel is a fat bar snorkel with the airbox to match, is it? Nope, cut that. All right, wheels and tires. So the tires are a Crocodile 35-inch mud tire, and the rims are Fuel Sledge. They're a 17 by 8, I believe, aluminium rim. Down the side, only thing that's added on here is just the wind deflectors. That just helps with wind noise blowing your hair around because he's a girl, and stops the rain coming in too. He's also used a couple of racks at the top here. They're just sort of factory roof racks, but he's bunched them up together nice and close to put the Max Tracks up there, which is a good idea because you don't want to be putting them anywhere inside the car when they're dirty, and they're really easily accessible if you need them in a rush. And people that put them down low or whatever, if you get bogged, you can't get them off, so unless you flip it, you're not going to need to get up there, and if you've rolled it, you're not going to have much help with Max Tracks anyway. He's gone the alley cab tent as well, so that's from Quick Pitch there, and he's also used some bars on top of that, so you can chuck a canoe or some kite gear or a sup board or something like that and still use the tent. Hanging off the side, of course, you've got a shovel and a high lift jack, which is there for looks, I'm sure, because he's never used it. The canopy, ARB again, color coded flexi fiberglass, canopy with some pretty dirty electronic doors here, but we'll get into what's inside in a minute. At the back, we've got the MCC steel rear bar with twin wheel carrier, so that's holding the two spares, each with a bin bag as well. These are removable kind of, so you got to unbolt it and you can lift them off, so driving around town you don't have to carry all that weight with you. Just a light bar at the rear for your reverse lights, coming around to a Darchi Eclipse awning, which is 270 degrees, so it gets the full shade around both sides again, just sort of like mine as well. And that sort of wraps it up for the side. Just a couple of flares on there to match your tread, so that all looks proper. And we'll go under the bonnet. All right, so under here is, for the moment, a factory 3.2 litre turbo diesel engine, 5-cylinder. So all he's done is basically a tune, and basically with the factory turbo, just got a bit more boost out of it. Intercooler pipe's been done, exhaust has been done to match the tune and all that. Battery isolators under here. There's something special where he's stuck that battery. I'll show you in a minute where that is. Other than that, it's dirty as because I told him to clean it, but he didn't go under here, did he? All right, inside the vehicle. Pretty factory in here, but from standard, these things have so much technology. There's more buttons on this steering wheel than my whole car. But other than that, he's added some gauges, so you got your boost and EGT on the side there, so they're just SAS gauges over there. All your dash cluster with all your controls for everything. Oh, keep it on me, I'll do B-roll. Yep. So yeah, your dash has all the controls and everything on there, traction control, all that good stuff. There's Apple CarPlay in here, so he's got an iPhone, so you can whack that in and it does all your messages, maps, phone calls, all that stuff. And there's a throttle controller over here, which controls sort of it gives it a less lag basically. With diesels, it gives it more punch in a way, but it's all done digitally. Other than that, Uniden UHF radio, and fully sick sticker on the side here where the passenger sits. Grab one, I'll put a link in the description below. In the back there is not a lot going on. There's just the main seats, but he lifts them up and can put boxes in there if he needs for food and whatnot. But most of the stuff stays in the canopy. So we'll have a look at that next. All right, so in the back here, first thing, that's not factory. So he's added some struts on the rear tailgate there. Knows why? Bit of wank factor, I think. Nice to sit on. Anyway, he's got a Waco fridge in here on a slide out drawer. So there's your fridge side of things. Oh, credit where credit's due. He did build this rear section out of wood. Maybe because he's a carpenter. So that's construction, mate. You're paying for that plug, by the way. Okay, so in this rear drawer is where you keep all your food, your camping gear and stuff like that. So it's really easily accessible. And if you want to grab a build not bought, similar to the description in the link below, as well as the water tank up the top there. So you've got fresh water. And well, at the moment there's fishing gear in there. So above the drawer, basically everything on top is just a big flat section to put a lot of your stuff. And oh, up in here, there is a tidy little nook for more camping gear. So what's in there, like the cooker, dustpan and broom. Who knows why he's got that? Actually, I do know why. I'll show you that in a minute. And a few gloves and whatnot. Bit of recovery gear back here as well. And also, he's got a fire extinguisher, and I always stress this. If you've got a full drive, always have a fire extinguisher with you. Preferably two, one in the canopy, one inside the car, because if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you start a fire with the grass underneath or from all the electrics inside the car and something goes wrong, you're going to want to have a fire extinguisher or you'll lose your car. Next to an axe, which is just there for looks. Around the side. Oh yes, beautiful button on the side there to open these. Oh, it's windy as I'm going this side. Blowing a gale, so this is where all the fun stuff is. All the electronics. So what he's got is a second battery underneath there. It's a 120 amp hour AGM. I think it's a Blue River, I believe. And that plumbs up to all this stuff. So that's gone to where that isolator was in there to charge up. But in here he's got the switches for his compressor, water, a few lights in here. Oh, you can't really see it, but it lights up. An inverter as well for your 240 volt power. And this is kind of all that stuff underneath there has got a false floor, so he can actually pack a lot of the quick and easy access stuff in here. Things that are important like your speaker and what else you got in here? Oh yeah, tire inflator, that's handy. Oh, at the back here there's a gas bottle, a tiny little, like, I don't know, a couple of litre, 2.5 litre gas bottle. So the hose he can just pull straight out and go into his cooker. So he got that idea from me. Oh yeah, this is pretty sick. So this is running water, so when you turn the actual water switch on and you got, is that safe to drink? No. No. So that's for washing dishes and stuff. Same thing that I do. I keep fresh water in bottles, and this is for washing and cleaning and all that kind of crap. Yeah, the only other thing in here is basically this solar panel. It's got an Anderson plug here, so you can plug, well, that's not it. So this is for the tent, because the tent's actually got power, and you can plug that straight into the bottom of the alu cab, and it powers the lights and charges and all sorts up there. There's another Anderson plug here which can go straight out to solar panels to keep things charged when you're camping for a couple of days or whatnot. That's about it. All right, the only last thing to cover is what's underneath the car. So there is a 4-inch suspension lift kit. So it's the full Superior kit. He's got a diff bracing, or not diff bracing, chassis bracing on the rear. So sort of an AGM, GVM upgrade, sorry there. I'm gonna do the whole thing again. And what size is your fuel tank? All right, the only last thing to do is what's underneath the car. So starting off there is a 140 litre long range tank in there, full 4-inch lift kit. So that's the Superior kit. And it came with the chassis bracing on the rear there. So it's sort of a GVM upgrade thing. The remote reservoir shocks, which are fully adjustable. They're a 2.5 diameter as well. And yeah, the IFS on the front with the diff drop and springs, and the upper control arms, which are adjustable as well. So the only last thing to do is drive this thing, really. Let's hit it. Right, let's see what this thing is like to drive. I kind of got high hopes for this because, let's face it, it's a 2017 model car, so fairly new. Or is it 2018? Yes, got something right. Straight up, I can feel the steering is super easy. I think it's got electronic steering, so when you're going slow, it's like real quick to turn, but if you speed up, it starts getting more resistance. Because this is my brother's car, I do sort of know what's going on with it, and it's got like lane assist and all sorts, and adaptive cruise control. Actually, there was even one moment where it started beeping. I'm like, what's that? We're in the middle of the road. He's like, oh, it's just telling me I'm tired. Don't even ask me how it knows that, but it can read how you're driving and tell you that you're tired. Like, that is ridiculous. But it feels goddamn smooth. I think it's to do with that suspension that we put in the other weekend. So if you haven't seen that, by the way, I did do a video on the suspension install, so I'll drop a link below for that if you want to take a look, if you have your own Ranger and want to do a lift kit on that. But It's super easy to drive in, automatic. It's nice and quiet inside as well, I do notice. It's got that exhaust system on it, but from outside the car it makes a racket, but inside the car it's fairly quiet. Pretty impressed with this Ranger. I think it's a good cross between luxury and comfort for the road, and then the ability off-road. I still wouldn't own one myself. I love my old 4Bs. You know, everything's mechanical, you know what's going on, because if one of these is up in the bush, you wouldn't know where to start. I think it's time for the challenges. All right, now it's time for the challenges. Because this is a road registered vehicle, it qualifies for the 4 challenges. So we'll get Zach in here, the owner. How you going, mate? My name's Sam.
I'm Zach.
All right, so you got 4 challenges, which is a drag race over 100 meters, and then you've got your suspension test, which is from 0 to 60 and then back to 0 again, losing the least amount of water, and then a flex ramp challenge, and then your fuel economy. So what one do you want to do first?
Let's do the drag race.
All right, we'll do the drag race. Come forward. Five, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Accuracy. 3, 2, 1, go. That's smashed it. All right, so we've done the drag race. So next is the suspension test. So we're gonna chuck some water on the bonnet there, fill it up, and you gotta go to 60 back to 0 again and try and lose the least amount. So you reckon you're gonna go good in this or what?
I think it'll go all right. New car, good suspension.
That's right, eh? We'll see what it can do. Really gotta get the dust off first to get it to stick. All right, you've already lost 5%. 35. Go! You're gonna have to go. I don't know where. Oh! 50! Yes! I call that about 80%.
Not bad.
80%. I need to put markings on this thing, but anyway. All right, the last challenge is the economy. Now, normally I get a person to fill up before we leave and after we leave and all that, but because this thing is like a spaceship, it can search what his sort of current fuel economy is in litres per 100. Stop it! So to save us filling up a couple of times, we might as well we'll see what we've got here and get the average. So what is it?
Fuel economy. There you go, 14 litres average.
14 litres per 100. All right, solid.
Not
so
bad.
now we've got to go find the flex ramp.
You.
Last challenge is flex ramp. You just got to reverse up that ramp as high as you can go. That's about it, mate. You're in the air. Being the second registered vehicle, we can finally take a look at some comparison with these challenges. Looking at the 100 meter sprint, it was Zach's Ranger that came in almost 3 seconds quicker across the line. A super scientific test of the suspension comfort challenge showed Zach also come out on top by just 5%. Another tight result with the flex challenge, only 5mm in between the two vehicles. And of course, being a more modern vehicle, the Ranger took the cake for the economy challenge with 14 litres per 100. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this rig rundown of my brother's Ford Ranger, a very popular vehicle in the Australian industry. So I hope you learned a bit from it. And well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. If you found this video inspirational, you should most certainly click the subscribe button. Catch me on Facebook or Instagram for the latest content as well, before this video finishes.